Bonsoir, bonjour les amis, comment allez-vous? Hello guys, how are you doing? Just a disclaimer, this is not an English channel, so this is a French channel where you're trying to teach French for beginner, right? For really the ground, level 0, for now. So if you're a little bit advanced already in your French study, or your French already maybe B2 and a little bit higher, this might not be relevant for you right now, but as you're going, you might still find some stuff that are relevant to you. So I'm going to invite you to subscribe and eventually watch all our video, and as we are progressing, you're going to see something that are relevant to your current level right now. Now, you can also leave in comments some question that you have, even if it's already advanced, or even for the beginner. If you have any question, I already have one video, lesson 1. You can watch that. If you have any question, leave it in comment, and I'm going to make sure that I come back to that. Today, the lesson will be about the pronoun. Pronoun is a very wide topic. There are a lot of things to say about the pronoun in French. Even in English, there is a lot of things to say about the pronoun. But we are going to focus here on what you're calling personal pronoun. The personal pronoun here are usually what you're using to construct a sentence, because in French, the basic sentence will be subject plus the verb. Example, je mange, I eat, right? You have a subject, which is je, and here it's a pronoun, and mange, which is a verb, right? You can another say probably j'aime, right? I love or I like, depends on how you want to take it. J'aime, I love or I like. You have the G apostrophe here, which is a subject, and M, which is the verb. We are going to talk a little bit about the apostrophe by the end of this video, because I know some of you also will wonder, why do we have an apostrophe sometime instead of the je, which normally means I. So I'm just going to give a direct translation of some pronoun and explain it to you, their meaning and the context when you can use them. The three first pronouns that you usually have, which is je, meaning I, tu, meaning you, and il, meaning he, or elle, meaning she. Those first four that I have give to you are usually what you're calling singular pronoun, meaning they are the pronouns similar like English that are just indicating one subject. Okay, it's just applicable for one person. It can be first person, which is je, second person, tu, and third person, il, for male, or elle, for female. These are singular. Now, we also have the second part of our pronoun, which are plural. We also have it in English. We are going to have nous. Make sure that you don't pronounce the S, because usually I have heard it for a lot of my students. They say nous, but it's nous, because the S is silent. You don't pronounce the last S, which means we. You, which means again vous. You can go back to my lesson 1. I explained to you a little bit the difference between tu and vous. Both means you in English. So we have a vous here, which means a lot of people. It can also mean one person when you're talking about the formal way. Go back to lesson 1, and then you're going to have more context on that. And then you have a last pronoun, which is they. They here can mean il or elle. Il here with the S, and elle with the S also. But when you hear me pronounce it, I'm pronouncing it as the third pronoun in the singular form that we talked about a little bit earlier. Because in in French, we don't pronounce the S. Usually, most of the word that you're going to pronounce in English, the S will be silent. That's why, despite that they can mean il or elle, I'm not going to say ils, I'm not going to say elles. So these are the pronouns that we have in French, and now we are going to use them with a verb. You can choose the verb of your choice, but depending on the pronoun that you're using, the verb will be also in accordance with the subject. Meaning maybe the verb will be in the plural form, if I can say it like that, or also in the singular form, if depending on the pronoun that you're using. We are going to have, for example, je mange, which is a basic sentence. I eat. The pronoun here is I, je, and then it is mange. Je joue. I play. The pronoun here is I, and the verb is joue, which is already a sentence basically, right? You can go like that with the other pronoun, but the termination of your verb will just change in accordance with the pronoun that you are you're using. Going back to the apostrophe, some people sometimes see the apostrophe and say, okay, why this time I have an apostrophe instead of je? Usually when you're talking about I, right? Earlier I say j'aime. The question is, okay, why do I have the j'aime instead of je aime? Normally when you're having an apostrophe, is, let's say, the basic rule in general. We can have some other variants, but I'm just going to give you the most common one. It's generally because in French, whenever a personal pronoun ends with a vowel, the next noun or words that come after, if it starts with a vowel, the first vowel from your pronoun will be moved, and then you're going to have an apostrophe to replace that. So in short, we don't have a pronoun with a noun or a verb that's come next, both starting and ending with the vowel. Starting is the word that comes next, and then ending is the word that comes first. In this case, when you say je aime, je is a pronoun and it ends with e, which is a vowel. When you go to m starts with the vowel, the letter a. Therefore, since there's two vowels side by side, you're going to remove the first vowel and replace it by an apostrophe. That's the origin of, for example, j'aime. And we can extend it to a lot of other words. For example, j'adore, I love, I adore. J'adore here normally is je adore. But because we have two vowels side by side, we are going to remove the first vowel, become an apostrophe, and then you are going to say j'adore. J'écoute, I listen. We have the same scenario here. We have an e that ends with my pronoun, and we have another e that starts with my second noun. Therefore, we're going to take away the first one and replace it with an apostrophe. Okay, so this is basically the origin, if you want to say it like that, of the apostrophe. Now, this is applicable to every vowel. As of now, you can consider it applicable to every vowel, right? You know the vowel a, e, i, u, y, h. Right? These are the things that you can consider as vowels. So whenever you have a pronoun ending with a vowel and another word starting with a vowel, you want to take away the vowel from your pronoun. If you have any question or any concern, you can just leave it below this video and I may address it on our next class, or somehow even in your comment I may reply to your comment and address your concern. So yeah, that's it for now, et à bientôt.